Rob, we know what Sean is capable of. We've seen it throughout his career, all the way to the belt. My question to you is, after those two fights that we saw to Merab and those two convincing losses, does he still have what it takes to get back there?
100%.
Really?
Because he's got the X factor, he's got the instincts, he's striking, he's like a sharpshooter. He's got that one-punch knockout power. He can keep you at distance and just harass you and make you pay for the entire 5 rounds if he wishes. The thing is, okay, he's not the only one that's having a hard time with wrestlers right now. Okay? Like it's hard to just point out his loss to Merab when Islam's running amok, my mate Chimaev's running amok.
Yeah, I was going to say, talking from experience.
Yeah, he's not the only one.
Yeah.
So to say he doesn't have a shot against the wrestlers is, I think, too broad. I think it's very fight specific. Like, yeah, he lost that fight against Merab, but he's beaten a lot of everybody else. It's just, we're trying to work out, I say we're trying to work out the problem that those Russian wrestlers are just bringing to the game right now.
Yeah, well, there is a new champ at 135 pounds, so Merab's taken a step to the side, and you know, Petr Yan is the guy that Sean O'Malley has beaten, regardless of what you thought of the scoring in that fight at UFC 280. But do you feel like the fact that Yan is champion means that Sean has a better chance of reclaiming the belt?
Yeah, definitely. Because that's such a funny triangle right now. You know, I think it definitely gets him going off how this fight goes off on the weekend. Yeah. It could just put him straight back in line, because the UFC are always going to promote this fight because he is a superstar in his own right. And he's got that stardom, he's got that one knockout power. He's established as that guy. So, and people would tune in. They like seeing Yan fight Merab last time. It was like a new Yan. It was a Yan from a few years ago. He came back refreshed and just made Merab pay across the board. So to see him in there with O'Malley, especially with how close their first fight was, over 5 rounds, people would want to see it. Well, I want to see it.
Yeah, so do I. Let's not discount Song Yadong, though. He's got tremendous knockout power. Could he be the next big thing at 135?
Definitely. Everybody in this game has a chance. And Song has had the type of career where he's had his wins, he's had his hard losses, he's had his wins, but he's a scrappy guy that stays in there. And I think if he makes it scrappy, especially after the last 2 losses Sean's had, you can't rule him out. Yeah. You can't rule him out, because that's his, in my opinion, that's his pathway to victory, is to make it that scrappy dog fight that maybe Sean doesn't want a part of because of the last 2 fights he's been in, you know. But I know Sean is definitely a superstar in his own right, and yeah, I'm pumped for this fight.
Well, I'm very pleased to announce that Sean O'Malley joins us now. Sean, thanks so much for your time. We haven't seen you in a while. I did want to ask you, after that second championship loss that you had to Merab, what sort of mental adjustment was necessary for you? Where were you at in your head in deciding what was next for Sean O'Malley?
You know, it just took, honestly, it was kind of just back in the gym. Didn't really take any damage that fight. So we got back in the gym and just kind of I was ready to go in November, December, was kind of asking for a fight. And I think they wanted, save the Sugar Show for Paramount. So, had to wait till January. But, it's the fight game. You're not going to win them all. And it was just on to the next.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to see you on Foxtel's main event this weekend. Rob, did you have a question for Sean?
I did, mate. I did. Rob here. So after your last fight, obviously, I think a lot of people are having the wrestling problem. Those guys that just want to grab you and hold you down. Everyone's kind of on the shelf researching what we do with those fellas. But I want to step aside from that. I think you have a huge media presence, okay? You're very funny on your different platforms, and you make light of your losses and the wrestling game, and you enjoy it. But I've got to ask, and this is a personal question from myself. So I enjoy a little bit of Reddit now and then, and sometimes I fall down Reddit holes where I get absolutely rinsed. And mate, it's like after my last loss, people are talking like I've just died, man. I'm about to put my kids up for adoption, right? Tell me, you have a much bigger media profile and presence than I, and you love the talk. So obviously you're going to get those guys come in and rinse you. How are you rubbing that off? How does that affect you? Are you just brushing it off? What are you doing to survive it?
End of 2024, December. Going into the new year, I said I'm gonna get off social media. I'm gonna get off Instagram, Snapchat. I'm gonna hire somebody, hire a team to kind of run that. And best decision I ever made. Didn't get on social media at all. 2025. I'm carrying that over into the new year. That stuff doesn't matter. I'm very lucky and blessed to be able to have already, have reached this success and make money and do all this stuff. So, I think just staying away from it, keep being, the hell's going on here at the hotel. But no, just kind of staying away from it. I know who I am, and, I got good people around me. We got a small circle, and, life's good regardless, win or lose. 2025 was the first year in 15 years I didn't win a fight, and it was one of the best years I've had as a person. Personally, it was one of the best years I've ever had. So, got 2 kids, and life's good.
That is so good to hear, because I'm much of the same approach, having that barrier between you and social media so you don't fall down the problem is, I kind of jump on to just keep up to date with UFC, kind of what's happening. You know what I mean? Because you have to. You have to. Otherwise, you live under a hole and people are talking about things you got no idea, right? And then occasionally, some dudes just hammering me in.
Yeah, it's definitely it's tricky. It's just staying away from it's the easiest thing, but it is when you put your heart and soul into this sport, and then you have some dork critiquing you. It is frustrating. It's annoying, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you can't give other people's opinions any power.
100%, 100%.
Well, it's good to hear that there's a new and improved Sean O'Malley. And just on that, we know that Petr Yan is now the champion at 135 pounds. Sean, how would you fare in a rematch against Petr? And do you feel like you have improved a lot since that first fight against him?
Yeah, I mean, that was 2022.
Yeah.
Both of us have improved a lot. That last fight against Merab, Petr put on one of the best performances I've ever seen. And I've always been a fan of Petr. So, he improved a lot. And I think a beautiful performance Saturday night makes sense. I mean, it's not always about the rankings. I don't know when the rankings have ever really mattered. I go out there and put on a beautiful performance. If people want to see me versus Petr rematch at the White House, I think that's the biggest fight. But if they don't, if they want to go see, the trilogy with Merab, or if Umar gets a big win, or, I'm here for what the people want. The people want me to fight Petr Yan at the White House. Let's do it.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to see that fight. So just putting in my one vote, right? I want to ask you, so I've always thought going into fights, every fight makes you better. Every fight you get in, you scrap, you get better, like you level up more or less, leaving the thing. How those last 2 fights where you were just held down a lot, didn't really get to go out there and do the thing, how do you feel moving in? Because headspace-wise and your energy right now, off the charts. I think this is the best version of yourself I've seen.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, those 2 camps were, mentally just going through fight camps. Like you said, you level up in the gym, outside the gym. I feel like every single fight camp I get in, I just level up as a human, as a fighter. And the first fight camp weren't able to grapple at all, so it's like I still got a lot of good work out of it. The second fight, we definitely grappled more, and we're able to improve in that area. So just continuing to grow as a fighter and being in the gym. But yeah, I definitely feel like I'm an improved version of the Sugar Show.
Sean, what about Song Yadong? He's a striker as well. What makes him so good in your opinion?
Song is explosive. He's hungry. He's young. He's experienced. He's confident. He's very well rounded. He's a dangerous fight. He's a tough matchup for sure.
Do you think he has what it takes to become a champion one day?
Absolutely. Good. He trains at a good gym. He's powerful, 100%.
Okay, well, we can't wait to see this one. It's certainly going to be fireworks this weekend here on Foxtel and KO Sports. Thanks so much, Sean O'Malley, for your time here on Fox. Go get him this weekend.
Hell yeah. Appreciate it, fellas. Have a good one.
For more exclusive access and the best boxing and UFC content, subscribe below to Main Event.